Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for April 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations, so if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your monthly reading for April. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome, so let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know regarding April? Can you please show them the way? Well, April has literally sprung upon us, and we have officially started a new astrological year. The sun has moved into the sign of fiery Aries, so it's a time to embrace your inner rebel and expect your energy levels to rise, rise, rise. Now, over the last couple of months, we have truly been dealing with some challenging energy, but the eclipses are now over, out of the way. For now, both Mercury and Venus turn retrograde by mid-month, leading to a rare occurrence where all planets are direct, which means personally it's full steam ahead. Of course, I'm loving that you got the Sun card energy. You're so looking forward to this positivity because it has been really challenging. Obstacles dissolve faster, and complicated energy tends to untangle itself with a total alignment for brighter things to come. Now, things become more manageable during this period. If you've been struggling with anything, this is a great problem-solving month to move ahead, and April is the payoff month for previous hard work too, setting you up with opportunities to level up and shine. And I can see with that sun energy, you're so ready to shine. Now, the greatest of rewards can actually reach you now to set you up nicely for the rest of the year ahead. As you take charge of your life, lead with passion, creatively embrace your hobbies as well, and set your sights high whilst boldly striding towards accomplishing your goals. This is the month to get assertive, carve out the life that you've been manifesting, and of course set yourself up for positive change. Now, Saturn and Venus conjunct Rahu, the North Node, this month, which is pretty intense, and it really is a big deal as it's not occurred since 1968. And we only need to look back at that period in time to understand some of the challenges the world faced or even witnessed, shall we say, to realize what similarities we may encounter ahead. But on a personal level, expect some serious soul searching about where you see your future heading and, of course, where you feel like you belong in the world. Now, Saturn will be really strict with you this month and force you to take a long, hard look at where you aspire to be and then put plans in motion to be on track. It'll also help you to break free from karma that has been very challenging. Saturn delivers consequences for negative actions and, of course, rewards you for positive ones. Venus, however, will make sure that you're making the right decisions to do what you love from your heart space, to really harmonize and take the edge of that karmic exchange. So you may make some serious life-affirming decisions during the month of April, where the universe will offer you fated, oh my gosh, look at that. As I said fated, we got the Wheel of Fortune right there. Double Wheel of Fortune, oh my gosh. Drop the microphone, my beautiful Scorpio, you got double Wheel of Fortune. What is going on? I mean, do we trust this? Do we trust this? I'm not sure. Let's get the rest of the cards first before, we go forward. I'm a Scorpio too. So, we've got 2 of Cups, we got 10 of Cups, we got Wheel of Fortune. Okay. We need to dissect this because this is looking too good to be true, right? So let's go and get the rest of your cards and see what else is going on there. But, the universe will actually deliver you fated opportunities and connections to make things happen during this period for your highest good. Now, Neptune, of course, has moved into the sign of Aries, and this is a transition that takes 165 years to complete. So it really is a fresh new cycle across the board. However, with all this fiery energy whizzing about suddenly, there is also a potential for the odd clash or argument. You know, people tend to reveal their true nature during this pressurized energy. So it's important to channel your energy into pursuits that fulfill your needs or purpose. Otherwise, it can lead to a bit of frustration. Now, Neptune, the planet of inspiration, influences you to concentrate on your dreams or goals. Partnered with the high octane passion of Aries season, it really makes sure that you productively take action, remain focused, and leave any temptation to procrastinate in the dust. You know, the super new moon in the sign of Taurus on the 27th of April attracts new money, encouraging new money-making ideas, even attracting rebates, small increases in money, even bonuses to manifest into your life. So you'll feel that April has, you know, transformed in some positive ways. And of course, it'll leave you feeling really super proud of all that you've accomplished so far and look forward to all that is to come, because I feel like you're setting yourself up for something that is going to be destined and prosperous. Now, Venus has been retrograding until now, so if you've been feeling that languishing malaise recently, I feel this is really going to affect you because of your Two of Cups there and the Ten of Cups. You know, this energy is going to dissipate, okay? You know, this season will jolt you back into rediscovering your playful side, to seek out new adventures, whether you want to meet a soulmate, for example, or even meet soul tribe friends for life. This is a time where strong relationships are formed, and your seventh house is actually influencing you during this period as well. So, you know, expect to meet new people or join new communities in some way, and even like discover love if you're looking for it during this time as well. Now, existing relationships are also given a bit of a reboot of excitement as you dust off any humdrum or reconnect to people that you've been meaning to get back in touch with. And you may also feel more flamboyant, bold, and daring. And, you know, the universe will respond to that energy by sending people and opportunities your way to enhance your life experience. Now, of course, there's always an opposite to a positive energy. I don't want to say it's negative, but there is going to be some challenging global energy. Neptune in Aries often mixes a whiff of evolution and revolution to the air as it drives this transit forward. The collective awaken at greater speeds, and it really is a time for shattering long-standing illusions, exposing secrets, scandals, you know, redacted documents are exposed, hidden information is revealed, even highlighting where areas are broken to push for societal change. Strikes or boycotts in various industries could rise up during this period to push for fairer working conditions, or even push back on technology cornering the market to limit the chaos of like severance packages or redundancies, for example. Now, Pluto's opposition to Mars on the 26th of April might add some bumpy transformative energy, exposing some hidden financial truths that need correcting, especially with trade frictions at the moment. Now, we could also see a triggering of an unexpected power struggle, increasing a domino effect of conflict too. And we do have some major solar flares to contend with during this Aries season, which is already triggering unusual, unseasonal weather events, as well as increasing seismic and volcanic activity. This may briefly impact the travel industry at some point in the coming months as well, and of course, usual power outages. Now, it does seem like every day we are hearing about major shifts all over the planet, which I did foresee in my channel messages last year, and underlined that 2025 is a year of fire and water, and we are seeing significant events occurring at this moment in time as well. So I see a rather significant event where marine life unusually beach, indicating a major tectonic restructure in that area involving an underwater volcano. So that's something to look out for. And as always, look to the animal kingdom for behavior, because they are intuitive, they sense things before they happen, and of course, you know, they indicate these world shifts as well. Now, the Earth moves all the time, of course, to remove pressure, but this is a global awakening and a restructure of tectonic plates around the world, symbolically perhaps of humanity's restlessness with the way things are right now. You know, the pressure is on, and shifts of change are upon us to forge new landscapes. But on a personal level, You know, I would say there it is. There's the Five of Wands. There is the Five of Wands for you. You know, oh my gosh, I just saw that you've also got the Tower as well. But, you know, it was short-lived. Let's check in and see what is going on there with you. But if you know my readings, you'll know that a Tower and a Wheel of Fortune, they show up together, which means positive restructure for change. Okay. But I want you to be aware that, you know, on a personal level, this month is actually going to usher in a fresh new feel for you, and it's going to help you trailblaze adventurous pathways to all that you desire. April really reignites your zest for life. Expect like a flurry of activity, events, you know, invitations, festivals, and opportunities to keep you on your toes in a positive way as you actively keep your life moving forward whilst having fun along the way. I mean, Aries energy plus April is going to be a nice change of pace, shall we say, because there's been a lot of pressure recently. Now, the first card is the Sun card, okay? This is your approach to the month ahead. I feel like you're being super positive. Even though things have been challenging, I feel like you're choosing to change your energy or be in control of your energy, where you're like, you know what, this is fine. I'm going to navigate these changes and I'm going to shine my light no matter what. This is a very empowered month for you, where you're going to have a lot more energy. You know, I feel like you're looking at energy sources this month. And what I mean by that is like food substances, beverages, things like that, things that give you energy, even going out in the sun, for example, being energized in that, or environments that energize you. You know, you have that conversation with a person and you leave that person, you think, wow, that was a great conversation. They just uplift me. So I feel like there's a lot of like energy exchanges for you this month, where you're just going to like transform your environment or transform the way you like see. This is random, I know, and it may not resonate with everyone, but it's like you're going to look at the way you see food. Random, I know. It's like energy sources. So it could be that you've been feeling low energy recently, or you've been feeling drained, and you're looking at like, you know, substances that you absorb or put inside of yourself. This could even be things that you see or watch, for example, because the sun energy is to, you know, have a clear vision of something. So I really feel like you could be looking at, you know, what you digest basically, or listen to, and how it affects your energy. That's something that's coming out predominantly for this month. But the Sun card indicates that there is a positive energy about you, of course, and I feel like you are re-energized and, you know, reigniting that spark. A lot of you are going to feel a little bit more yourself than you have done for some time, okay? And I feel like you're out there shining your light, you know, delivering your message, being positive, being creative, and really kind of like trying to build your empire. Because as you can see, these two figures there, you know, there's a wall there, and I feel like they're building it. So I feel you are building something that is solid and true in your life. And of course, the Sun card is all about expansion. You know, I feel like you've been going through an awakening for a long time. And, you know, we got the Two of Cups here, which is like exchange energy. That's what I'm feeling, like the energy exchange between you and people and circumstances that you connect to. And the Tower is a restructure, okay? So I feel like as you spiritually evolve, there's higher frequencies involved there, which means shattering illusions, shattering through things that have been making you feel stuck, okay? So this is a big restructure month for you, where you're doing things differently. And actually, thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. My guides are giving me a song. Now, I got to be honest with you, before I started your reading, you know, I do a little like meditation. And just before that meditation, actually, I heard this song, and it's coming through again so loud, so strong. I mean, when it gave me this vibration and suddenly the song came in, my guides gave me the song, I got true chills all over, right? Even now, it's happening again. The song is a very famous song. It's Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. Now, of course, this song is about someone who wants to make a change, who wants to make a difference. And the lyrics I'm being given here right now are actually that. I'm going to make a change. For once in my life, it's going to feel real good. Going to make a difference. Oh gosh, you know, it's such a powerful song. And I feel you may hear this song over the next coming weeks and months. Actually, it's almost making me feel like I want to cry, right? It's really hitting me to my core. So I feel deep down inside of yourself, you feel like you need to make some sort of change to make a difference in your life. And it starts with the self first. Because of course, you know, if you think about the sun energy, that is an energy of ego, okay? Now, there's lots of different types of ego, and I'm not going to get all Freud on you right now, but this is like you kind of like looking at yourself and saying, I need to make a difference, and it starts at the very foundation of self. So you may feel that you've been restless for some time, or feeling stuck in some sort of cycle of repeat, or you're committed to something that's repetitive, because the Tower is like, you know, it can be something that we built ourselves that we wanted at some point, and now it just feels lackluster, or that, you know, it's comfortable. But, you know, in comfort, which is nice, sometimes we get a little bit bored. So I just feel this energy of you like rising up within yourself, wanting to make a change and a difference. And this is a big soul searching month for you. And it starts with the self first. So I feel this energy of change. But I mean, for some of you, this could be some sort of charitable event that you connect to. It could be that you are doing something for charity, or you get involved in a charity, or perhaps you're doing something in your industry if you're in a job that really makes a difference in the world. I mean, I feel there's this like endeavor within you right now to make a difference in other people's lives as well as your own, okay? It seems like it's filtering out just like the rays of the sun. So I feel at the core of it, it's some sort of change that you're making within yourself, okay? So it doesn't have to be related to charity events or, you know, things like that. I feel it could be like something that you're changing within yourself that emits some sort of positive energy that changes someone's life. Like you giving someone a compliment. You may not know that that person is breaking inside and they're having a really bad day, but you say something to that person because it is your truth. It's how you feel about that person. You may transform that person's day or their life in that very moment, because everybody's going through something different or challenging, right? Nobody knows what's going on in people as you walk past people, you know. So it could be that, you know, you actually reach out to someone who is literally breaking down, for example, and you shine your light, and your presence in that moment just restructures everything for them. So don't dismiss the smallest of compliments. Don't dismiss the smallest of like pleasantries or generosity, because, you know, the Two of Cups is a generosity. It's an exchange. So I feel a lot of you could come across a person that you really like transform their life in the month of April, but also I feel you may meet a person who transforms yours, okay, as well. So you could get a compliment, or you could meet a person who has a true impact on your life in such a positive way. You know, the Sun card is an emanating of energy, of course, from the self. And I feel you're strongly in the law of attraction. You know, the Two of Cups is basically an energy exchange. It's an exchange or an understanding of an exchange that can bring people or situations or objects or, you know, opportunities into your life. So I feel right now this positive kind of approach to your life, even when things are breaking, because I see a lot of you, this is your energy, of course. You know, the Tower is this kind of like energy where you've been feeling stuck in something, or you feel like you've been breaking in some area, and it's like, how are you going to transform things? But I feel like you're rebuilding. I feel like you're actually going to transform for the positive, and the Two of Cups indicates that opportunities are going to flow towards you. Now, of course, I cannot ignore that the 7th house is influencing you at the beginning of the month, and that's all about your friendships. It's all about your partnerships, the people in your everyday circumstances, okay? And, you know, a lot of you are deepening these partnerships and alliances, whether it's business related, whether it's like with your landlord, for example, if you've been having some challenges there, can be that there's a pleasant exchange that kind of like releases the pressure, because, you know, the Tower can release pressure there. For some of you, this could also be a restructure in your friendships, because the Tower is present. So if you've been wondering about a person or people who've stepped back, we've got the 10 of Cups here in the resistance position. There feels like there's some distance between someone or some people, maybe your soul tribe. You've witnessed friendships evolving in a certain way, and you've stepped back because you feel the change or shift within them. You feel it's unfair that this shift has happened, but I do get this energy, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, it's almost like you're going to approach it in a new way. Like you realize that they've been taking your energy, okay? And normally you would withdraw from that. You would say, look, you know what, I'm going to go off grid. I'm going to basically do my own thing. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have decided to change your approach and give more. You may be reaching out this month and saying, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Wonder what's going on. You may actually persist at something. And at the core of it, I feel you may discover something that has been hindering the friendship or has made the relationship evolve. Now, of course, it's not going to make an impact on you either way. It is disappointing when friendships evolve or like grow out of each other, of course, but I feel like you'll be able to get a nicer closure for yourself if you discover the reason why. Because right now I feel there's this energy of like distance or people pulling back in your life. This could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be a family member, because you have that 10 of Cups there, it's in the resistance position. It just feels like you're going to give more to the situation, because by giving more rather than retracting, you will actually encourage a dialogue or an exchange. Now, I always actually say when people are withdrawing, kind of like match their energy, right? Because you don't want to give to something that is not giving back. That's the law of exchange in life, in karma, in like the law of attraction, all of those energies. But sometimes in unusual circumstances, we need to give a little bit extra just to see what's going on there. And again, as I said, don't shoot the messenger there. So, for example, sometimes we can like disappear and just like never find out and just kind of like withdraw. And that person can also do the same. And there can be a distance, and that distance will be there forever. But I just feel like you're reaching out to wonder why, but you're not actually asking why. It's like sometimes, when they say with hurt people, you need to love them a little bit harder because they find it hard to allow that love in. I'm just feeling this situation here, but not at detriment to yourself. So there could be an exchange where you just like give a little bit more of yourself to the situation than what you've been giving. That's something that's coming out. It will transform the relationship, but it also exposes the nature of the conflict. Okay, and that's something that's very interesting that's coming out, because the Five of Wands is conflict, okay? But it can also indicate like the components that led to something becoming very clunky. I actually feel there's a nature here of competitiveness. Okay, so that's what I've got coming out. So I feel, when you're upgrading your life, for example, because a lot of you Scorpios out there, you are doing your own thing. You're trying to love your life. You're trying to build something that is incredible for you and your future and your family. And sometimes people who are in your like sphere, they can see you upgrading or they can see your success, and they start to think about their own. They start to unpick their life, as it were, and there's a competitiveness there. Sometimes, that sentence really is hard to fathom, but it's lonely at the top, because it makes people kind of realize the successes that you're about to unlock, that they haven't put themselves in the right position to do that, or they haven't gone that extra mile. And you're going that extra mile in your life right now. And I feel some people may be stepping back because they feel like you're either going to leave them behind, or there's a competitiveness here where, they feel like they cannot reach the level that you're reaching. And of course, friendship is all about support. It's about unconditional love. It's about being there, your ride or die. And that's the same with like family as well. But sometimes, it can trigger some doubt within people. And the nature of a Scorpio is to understand people and psyches. So I feel some of you may just give a little bit more to a situation in the month of April in order to understand what the nature of the conflict is. Because I feel like you're out there going, I have no clue what's going on here. I feel like you're like, why did things change? Where's the separateness here? We were so tight. We were so close. What's happened? Because that Two of Cups is going to a 10 of Cups in the reverse. Because this is a resistance position. And the Hierophant energy is in the resistance position. So it's like, you got no knowledge of this. Like, when did it change? When did it happen? And I feel it may have happened when, you are reaching some level of success, or, you change something within your life where you're out there shining, being your authentic self. Now, what's interesting about this, and this is only like a byproduct of your energy, I feel it's not something that you're going to be super focused on in the month of April, but I feel there is this energy where you like wanted to change something in your life, and that song is obviously connected to this change. Something within you has changed. And for some of you, like it could be your home is changing or has changed, for example, or perhaps you are doing something that you love that is setting you apart from other people. And I feel it's like the whispers of people just feeling like they're not enough to match your energy when they're getting the nature of friendship all wrong. Okay, so that's something that's coming out. I'm going to move away with a lot of respect from that situation. And I feel like, you know, you're going to deal with this and you're going to change the nature of it to expose the conflict. Okay, so that's something that's coming through. Anyway, let's get back to your energy. Two of Cups is the natural exchange in life. So I do feel here that there is an energy here that you have not felt yourself for some time, and I feel like you're now connecting to more things that you love. And you know, this is a card as well that I feel for some of you in April, it's not your birthday season, but I see a gift coming in for you. Okay, unexpected gift given by somebody. Now this could be what I'm seeing here is someone who really cares about you. They don't really like talk about it a lot, but they really care about you. This could be a friend that you haven't seen for a long time. They bring a gift to see you when they are coming to see you, for example, because I feel a lot of you could connect to someone that you haven't seen for like a couple of months or some time is what I'm seeing there. And they bring a little token of affection that they may have actually purchased a long time ago and meant to send it to you or give it to you, but now's the right moment. So that's coming through there as well. But basically, the Two of Cups energy is like consolidating your feelings. And with that Sun energy, I feel like you're trying to be like really positive in the face of immense change or challenge. Something big has changed within you. Something has really restructured in your life where you're like, wow, it just feels like a lot and you're rebuilding. Some of you may have even had some sort of shock that you are trying to kind of like process right now, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love. But I do feel that some positive will come out of this. So for example, if some of you have separated from a job that you used to love doing, for example, or you are leaving a neighborhood that you feel has changed and you don't love it as much anymore, I feel the positive is that you're going to be right on the path that you need to be to basically open up to a new environment, a new role. You know, I feel ultimately you're looking at things that you really want to do, and sometimes the universe gives us signs that we must change. Okay, so if you've been in a job for some time and you feel like you've reached a glass ceiling, you may feel that it's the same old thing, just a different day. You may even see some restructures going on in the industry that you work in, because I feel like you see the changes. Right, the Sun card indicates something is exposed. The Tower is like a restructure or something that's always been a certain way that is now outdated, and suddenly it needs to revamp or restructure. And you know, it can be that you're seeing the nature of these changes and you've seen these signs, but you know, the universe will say, well, we gave you the signs for you to leave that job because it was toxic or it was not helping you progress, and you ignored the signs. So now we got to send you a Tower. So if you came to this reading and you were made redundant, for example, or you had to accept a severance package, for example, you know, this is you being like flung, let's put it like that, because I feel that's what it is. You're being flung onto your true purpose path where there is more prosperity, better luck and opportunity in a different environment. Okay, it may be a clumsy change that the universe has sent you, but if you've been feeling stuck in a rut, I feel, you know, the Five of Wands, whilst it is conflict and challenge, it means everything is coming together as it should. If you know the Five of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there are 5 figures on that card and each one has a wand and they're all trying to create a star, right? It looks really clumsy, but they are bringing all the different components together to make something really special. And the star represents, of course, a wish being delivered or something you've been wishing for. And each figure has a different item of clothing, and it's like you can deal with all these different components, and you can, you know, approach it with stress, pressure, or, you know, uncertainty, or you can have fun with it, because there is a figure there that has polka dots all over their shirt, which represents fun, you know, joy, curiosity. So it's like you can like fight the changes as much as you like, but change is afoot. and you can embrace it and just see where it goes and be curious and have fun, it will all come together as it should, because you are in a very strong kind of manifestation energy and you're building something really solid and special. But there's always room for flexibility because there's always going to be change. You, of all people, my beautiful Scorpio, know that there is one constant in this world, and that is change. And you're someone who is really good with change. I mean, you don't like it. Nobody likes it if it's thrust upon us. But I definitely see here that, you know, the changes that are happening for you right now, you're going to love it long term. And, you know, if you are currently looking for a role, if you've been out of work for some time, I feel a lot of you may actually train or learn some sort of like new technology or computer program or app or something. Some of you with that Hierophant energy, I see you putting yourself on a course of learning, or even going on a place like YouTube. It's a platform where there's videos online of how to do everything. So you could probably learn for free something in order to keep abreast of the changes in your industry. And, you know, there is going to be competition for the role that you go up for, but I see you entering into a position where there is a family feel, where you have actually, you know, a really like high role or status in that industry. And I feel that actually when you go into this role, there's going to be hierarchical figures who really love what you do and want to elevate you quite quickly, okay? Even above the competition, because you're really good at what you do. So I do see a new role coming on in for you. Also, for some of you, if you're waiting for like a bonus, or you normally get a bonus around about this time, I feel like there could be some drama around the bonuses, okay? But it will be corrected, and I feel ultimately you'll get what you feel like you worked really hard for, okay? That's something that's coming through. I feel it will come sudden after like a conflict. So it's almost like a lot of people questioning whether they're going to get a bonus or a raise, for example. And I feel like you're going to get what is in alignment with all the effort that you put in. I mean, it will come suddenly after a conflict or an argument is what I see. So I don't feel the argument is yours. It could be something within the company that you work for, or some sort of complex kind of process that is new, that is delaying things. And it feels like it's not going to happen, but actually it will happen, okay? Now, for the rest of you, I feel this is more about you attracting like relationships, friendships. I mean, Two of Cups can indicate a lot of you, you're going to have a spring in your step because you're going to meet a soulmate. And, you know, the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune indicates you and this person, it's love at first sight. You meet like suddenly out of the blue, okay? And I feel as soon as you meet this person, if you thought about never settling down or never getting married, this person, there's something different about this person. And I feel both of you are like meant to be together. Five of Wands can indicate you meet at a place where there's challenge or training. So it could be that you, you know, meet this person down the gym, for example, or that if you are like on a training program, or perhaps if you're doing like some sort of charity event, a lot of you could be doing some sort of race, you know, race for life or something like that, in order to earn finances for charities. It could be that you're challenging yourself to do something, but I feel a lot of you, this could be you stepping out of a comfort zone this month in order to challenge yourself to do something, and you then attract what you need. So whether it's a person, a situation, love, I definitely see here that, you know, you're stepping out of that comfort zone in order to accomplish it. I mean, the Tower energy is restructure. So I feel there's a lot of change about you. Some of you, this could manifest in forms of like new policies, documents. I mean, there could be some new like service provider changes going on, or financial institution changes that you're going to have to read. Maybe there's going to be something you have to sign, for example. There's definitely a restructure going on here, but it's in your protagonist energy, which means you're doing the majority of the changes, or you're rebuilding after some sort of change, and you're actually going to love this like revamp. So it could be that you're changing a look, could be that you're changing a style, could be that you're changing your house or where you live, or maybe some of you may be launching something that is going to set things in motion for a lot more prosperity. But ultimately, you know, the Tower energy can be like a breakdown of something that isn't working, a sudden change because things got too chaotic. And it means that, you know, you're seeing this as a welcome change or a positive one that helps you break free. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there. I feel like it starts with the very foundation of you, though. There's some sort of change within you that will filter across. You're challenging yourself to do something, and you're just going to love the outcome. Now, on a more like practical level, I see that some of you could actually book a course of learning, because this is a card of like training or knowledge, okay? And it's knowledge that you don't have because it's in the resistance position. So it could be that you are upgrading your knowledge, expanding your mind. If you booked like a course of learning a couple of months ago and you're meant to take it in April, but you've been so like busy and frazzled, there is the potential that you will miss the date or forget about the date. So this is a friendly reminder that if you've booked something that is about to start in April, keep mindfulness of the dates, because, you know, there's just this energy here of like, oh, in your mind, you may feel that the start date is like the 20th of April when actually it's the 21st, which doesn't really matter if it's the 21st, it's the day after. But if it started on the 18th and you thought it was the 20th, I would say just check the dates just to make sure that you've got the right date for the start of the course, because the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cups, it's like you could potentially miss something that you booked that you're really looking forward to based on either some sort of change. I mean, it could be that the date of the course or the event changes and you've been sent an email or a document, but that has been lost in the spam folder, or I would just say check dates, right? Because I feel there is something here that you have the potential to miss. Could also be some sort of correspondence, but you have a lot of water in your chart for the month of April. So I feel this is more about like something that you love that is connected to a goal or dream, or expands your mind or helps you in some way in order to increase your connection to your higher self. So it could be a spiritual course for some of you, but it could also be a course of knowledge is what I'm seeing there. And if you haven't booked something already, I feel a lot of you could book something in this month, but it may be rescheduled, or the date or the time, something about it changes. Could even be the course provider changes due to something. So that's going on there right now as well. I mean, with this card in the resistance position, this is you really connecting to your inner rebel and wanting to do things differently, to restructure. You know, something just feels like it's been the same for a very long time. And whilst it actually was nice at the time, or it created a level of comfort or stability, you just feel like antsy. You want to do something different. So I definitely see here that you're out there like restructuring your life or revamping something in order to reconnect and relight that fire, shall we say. And it is an energy exchange. But some radical change that occurs in your month of April brings prosperity, good fortune, or like a lucky break. You're going to be in the right place at the right time to receive this, because you are receiving something, and something's being offered to you. So Two of Cups can be a contract. It can be a deal. It can be an opportunity where there is a fair exchange. With the Two of Cups, it can also be that you're purchasing something and it is, you know, the right amount of money, for example, and it's going to be a purchase that you absolutely love. Now, I will pull a card on that Tower in a moment, but with this Pope card, of course, I mean, I don't really talk about like figures in positions of authority when it comes to world events in a personal kind of like read, but it has shown up recently in the energy that a religious figure may actually leave the earthly plane. Now, you know, I'm just being given this energy of like a shock around that person. I do get this energy that there is like a healing before, like, I don't want to say a decline. I just see like some complications or challenges. So that's coming out there briefly. I'm just going to dismiss that energy with a lot of love and respect, because my readings are not normally about that. But my guides just said the Pope, the Pope, the Pope. And of course, this is the Pope card, right? It's the Hierophant card. But of course, there is like a figure head of a religion called the Pope in our world, and I had to address it because the energy will not move forward if I do not. So I'm just going to leave that there. But there may be some complications in and around this person's healing in the month of April. I hope that's not true. I hope I'm wrong about that, but that's something that's coming through. Okay, so I'm just going to move away from that energy. Now, of course, this card is all about advice. So some of you, there is this energy of you taking your own advice on something because you know that something needs to change. But I do feel that advice is available. I feel some of you could like find some knowledge to do something that you love, and it may benefit your family as well, because the Ten of Cups is family, okay, or your soul tribe, your ride or die. So I do feel here there's an energy of responsibility in some way. So you may be called to help like a parent or a guardian or a member of family during the month of April there. I feel it's more giving them time and energy and thoughts, you know, and conversation. I don't see anything negative around that area, but what I do see here is like spending time, good quality time and energy with people that you really care about. But I also see a lot of like prosperity coming from your knowledge. So some of you could be launching second streams of income during this period, or launching an idea that will actually bring in a lot of wealth or make you feel really comfortable financially for you and your friends, because maybe even your family, because I feel like, you know, your generosity, because you have that Two of Cups, it extends to people that you really care about. So, you know, that's why it's so upsetting for some of you that when you're thriving and doing really well, you're so generous. You're the first person to, like, you know, either ask people out for a coffee or a dinner or something. You step up and you pay and say, look, I'm going to treat you. You know, you're that person. So I feel some of you are a little bit disappointed in some reactions with some friends where you're always like willing to share your heart or your, you know, your wins, shall we say, and you feel that they've stepped back. But I feel it's the nature of that itself. You're not going to stop giving to it just because they're withdrawing. That's something that keeps coming up here. But the Ten of Cups basically is an energy of feeling secure, solid energy, you know, solid emotional energy as well. So if you've been feeling a bit sensitive recently, I feel like, you know, you really deal with some challenging emotions. I feel a lot of you are kind of like recalibrating an emotional shock that you experienced when you were younger or like years ago, and it's something that's still in your psyche. Well, this is the month to kind of like really look at it as it has challenged you, it has shaped who you are, but it does not hold power over your happiness as you move forward. And I mean, this Ten of Cups, this can indicate a lot of you being offered an opportunity that is going to bring in a lot of reward. But if you are like connecting to something new, I feel like you may need to negotiate a better deal, because at first it feels like it's not fulfilling, or it's challenging, or it just is not what you're looking for. And then you vocalize, you know, what you really want. And I feel there could be some sort of like negotiation process going on where they make a compromise and basically fulfill your needs a little bit more than they wanted to in the first place. That's something that's coming through, okay? Now, of course, the Ten of Cups in the resistance position, it can indicate some of you are either moving out of a family home or you are going through some sort of separation. I mean, this can indicate you are moving away from something that you once loved because you feel it's not fulfilling. You're doing something a little bit daring and bold and different. And I feel it's going to actually give you a lot of luck, whatever this is. I feel, you know, there is some sudden opportunities that arise that are given to you to help something that was challenging all come together as it should. And, you know, I'm also being given this energy that if you've been going through a divorce, because this can be a marriage card, and the Ten of Cups, of course, is like a high-level commitment energy. It doesn't have to be that you're married to the person, but if you've been going through a separation and it's been a bit of a shock, I definitely see here that you're dealing with some very challenging emotions. But the Two of Cups, you know, it indicates that you will love again, and that may not help you in this moment in time, but the Queen of Cups is calling for you to really kind of like implement some self-care routines. I feel you may have been dealing with someone who is very insecure next to your energy, and the universe wants to set you up with someone who is strong enough to walk by your side. Sometimes a person or a situation will be removed from your pathway because, you know, you're destined to learn a lesson with that person or that experience, but you're here to improve on your experiences, and you're here to move forward and experience a love that meets your needs. Okay, so some of you, if you're dealing with that, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, but I do see that you will love again. And this is your time to love yourself fully, okay? Now, of course, a lot of you, because that Queen of Cups is there, it's in the resistance position. A lot of you, with these cards, you could be looking at something that you are tempted to digest, or you're tempted to have, that perhaps does not serve your highest good. And I feel like you're being stricter with yourself this month in order to detox or, you know, declutter your life in some way. I also rarely get this message, but it's coming through. I mean, this Queen of Cups, it looks like her eyes are closed, and I'm just getting an energy here of sleep. So some of you, I feel, if you've had interrupted sleep, there may be some sort of beverage that you are having that has impacted your sleep, or perhaps there is a beverage that you will find aids your sleep in the month of April. I'm also being given this energy of like a sleep trial. So either some of you are trialing, you know, a different pattern to sleeping, or you're going to bed earlier, because I'm being given a really wonderful image right now of a little bird on a branch looking at the dawn, okay? And so either you're restructuring your schedule in some way to get up earlier, or perhaps you're promising yourself to get up and like face the dawn. You know, listening to birdsong actually activates part of our energy levels to kind of like be more productive and like awaken certain hormones within us. So maybe it's like getting up to hear the bird song. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm gonna have to look that up, but that's something that's coming out from my guides. So it's like the activation of birdsong or the, you know, dawn. It activates hormones within us that can help like hormone balance, for example. So that's something that's coming through. I'll look it up. I mean, if you live in a city, that's going to be pretty hard. So it could be that either you decide to listen to birdsong, or you are getting up at dawn, or you're getting up earlier than usual in order to be more productive and then get everything done so you've got more time for yourself. I feel that could be a lot of you there as well. But the Queen of Cups, in the resistance position, it can indicate something that you've been longing to have that you feel would be the missing ingredient. You haven't got it yet, but I do see here that something fulfilling is being offered to you, and it could be a conversation or a realization, because you're having a sudden epiphany about something. So it could be that the nature of something that you do that you love is changing, and it's going to be more fulfilling, or you're actually deciding to restructure, and, you know, new knowledge will help you be more fulfilled. Happiness comes from within, of course, and I feel a lot of you with that Queen of Cups, this is all about self-care routines or rituals, and I feel this is about self-love as well. So a lot of you may be dissecting in this month in particular, you know, something that's been a root cause of self-doubt or self-loathing for some of you. Don't shoot the messenger when I say that, but because the Queen of Cups is in the resistance position, some of you, you know, there's this energy of like either body dysmorphia, or the way that you look at yourself, you don't see how attractive you are, or you don't see what other people see in you that's really awesome. A lot of you could really dissect challenging emotions like that and see yourself in a very new light this month, where suddenly you love yourself more, or you're seeing like how awesome you are. I mean, some of you could also like come across some old photographs, for example, during this month, and see how awesome you are, how attractive you are. And my readings are not about aesthetics, but I feel it's something that helps you realize how wonderful you are, and, you know, not to doubt yourself, or not to kind of like look at yourself from a place of pain, because some of you have had some sort of wound that has been painful or like not processed fully, and this is the month where you really kind of like become unstuck in that and really look at the challenge and how it impacted you and how you feel about yourself, to set yourself free. Because that bird on the branch, it represents freedom. It represents seeing things as they are, and they are now at a distance. So it's like your past, you cannot revisit that past. It is an illusion. It no longer exists. However, the emotional ties to that past experience still exists until we process it. So whilst the past is important, it shaped who you are, it must not impede your future happiness. And I feel a lot of you are having some major epiphanies, realizations, and breakthroughs this month as well. Now, of course, you know, when you get the Hierophant energy, this can indicate that you are learning new knowledge. I see a lot of you like being on top of your responsibilities this month, because this is a card of responsibility. It will go into the upright. I feel like you're going to approach your tasks, your errands in a different way where you love what you do. Also, the sleep thing, some of you could actually have like a medical trial or a sleep trial that is offered to you by, a healthcare practitioner who actually has a lot of empathy. If you've been feeling that you've been going through something health-wise, I feel you could meet a person who has a lot of empathy and they have a lot of knowledge to help you recalibrate hormones or recalibrate something challenging that you've been going through. But it may have been a process, and now, you finally found the person who's going to help you break through something that's been really challenging to deal with there as well. Now, your outcome energy, of course, we have double Wheel of Fortune. So that is some really good luck. I would say that this is you changing your life around and tapping into better prosperity. But also, I would say at the end of April, expect the unexpected. There's going to be some really wonderful ups, but also, the Five of Wands indicates there could be some arguments out of the blue or some opposition to things that you've been moving forward with. I mean, I feel it's competitive, but actually I feel like it brings up some confusion at first. Like, I thought we were moving ahead with this, and then suddenly there's like a fly in the ointment, but I actually feel like you overcome this and it all comes together. For example, if you are applying for a permit, it can be that you've got the thumbs up, you're moving forward with it, then suddenly there is some sort of cause for concern or some questioning or some further documents that are needed, or there's some pushback suddenly, and you're like, okay, I thought we agreed that it was going forward. It's like, yeah, we need to question this thing. And then suddenly all those questions are answered, and then you're moving forward. It was fine. It feels like it works out in your favor. For some of you, it could be that if you're up for an interview, for example, there's going to be competition for that role, and it feels like everything's moving forward, but then there's an extra step where you have an extra interview with someone, and you're like, oh wow, I thought I was offered the role, but there is one final step which makes you question whether it's going to be yours, but actually it is going to be yours. Okay, I feel like you win something or you accomplish something. I mean, also I feel with the Wheel of Fortune energy that this is you kind of leaving cycles behind of things being challenging, because it's like you're stepping into a new era where things feel easier. Now, I don't believe that either, because I'm a Scorpio. Things are always challenging, but I feel it's the way you approach the challenge that makes it easier. You can see it as a restructure. You can see it as challenging, or you can see it as a test that you're going to conquer. You can see it as you've got all that you need within you to kind of make things happen, and the challenge just reflects that the reward is even sweeter. So I feel with that Sun energy being your starting card, it's like that you have certain steps to move forward with, okay? And you are either taking a traditional route, which is dull and boring, or you're going to do something maverick and daring and more in alignment with who you feel like you are. And the challenge was worth it because you did it on your own terms and it worked. It was successful. I see a lot of you being super successful. The winds of change are about you, and it is a very prominent month for reward and for happy outcomes. Prosperity coming. But if we apply the Wheel of Fortune energy to money, for example, it can be that there's going to be a windfall of money or a bonus or some sort of increase based on your restructuring or your knowledge in some way. And it's easy come, easy go, because of course we got to pay bills. We got to do repayment plans, or I feel like you're on top of all those things. But I feel there is this energy of you kind of being stricter with yourself to make sure that finances are not easy come, easy go, that you save more, that you adhere to a financial structure or strategy, because the Hierophant can be structure or strategy. And I really feel that you're going to benefit from, creating some sort of savings goal that you hit as a target. We got the Lover's card and we got the Nine of Swords. So I was just clarifying the Tower there. So the Lover's card is the law of attraction card. It means that you're making some decisions that are going to attract things that you love into your life. But the Nine of Swords says you're cautious because you've been burnt before. You know things come into your life and they're really good, but then they can suddenly disappear or change on a dime. So even right at the beginning of this reading, when I was like, oh my gosh, Scorpio, you got two Wheels of Fortune, you got the Sun card, the Two of Cups, what is going on? You got the Ten of Cups. I don't trust this. And I feel this is you all over in April. Things are going to be a little bit smoother for you. And you're going to be like, I don't trust this. What is it? I need to dig a little bit deeper. You're cautious because everything you've done so far, sometimes there's always that fly in the ointment. But I feel actually, you know, things are going to work out better than you thought. Also, oh gosh, look at this. I mean, I'm loving it. You got the Nine of Cups, which is the wish. It is the star energy. It is like the wish fulfillment. So it's like your wishes are starting to materialize because you worked so hard for them, whatever those wishes are. But that Nine of Cups, you know, the Lover's card is like you're making choices from your heart space. You're reevaluating something right now, and you're making choices and decisions. For some of you, because, you know, the nature of change is upon you. This could be that you're changing where you live, or you're changing your job, or you're changing how you approach life, and it's going to benefit you. Nine of Cups is the missing ingredient, the thing that brings you satisfaction and pleasure. You know, there's going to be a lot of fun here, a lot of success, and something that you're reaching for, you will accomplish it. I feel like you're being very productive. I feel like you are being structured without actually adhering to other people's expectations. You're being disciplined. You're owning your time, and I feel like, you know, you're going to look back on April really proud of yourself that you did something that, yeah, you felt the fear, but you did it anyway. And, you know, that Nine of Swords is a little bit of anxiety, it's a little bit of fear, it's a little bit of hesitation, but the Lover's card indicates you can decide, basically. Do you live in fear, or do you live in hope that it's going to happen? Do you allow fear to stop you in your tracks because it's challenging, or do you see that on the other side, you can reach for something and you can have everything you ever dreamed for, you know? So I feel the choice is yours right there, straight down the middle with that Lover's card. And with double Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you're taking a chance. It's like an educated, calculated risk that you're taking. You're launching something, or you're stepping into your power, and this is going to change everything for your fortune. And I would say here that, you know, you're embracing the possibilities, and your destiny path is becoming like clear to you. I do see a lot of you having like random messages from people that you've like lost touch with. You may have some sort of reunion energy going on there. I also see here that you're like thinking things to life. You're dreaming things to life right now. You know, the Queen of Cups has, you know, a chalice of water. In this card, it's a bowl of water, just like my scrying bowl. It's like, if you can see it in your mind, if you can visualize it and it makes you happy, you can literally change your fate and it will happen for you. But also the Tower indicates that there is something that needs to change in order for you to get there in the first place. You need to step out of that comfort zone, take that leap of faith. And the Five of Wands indicates, you know, no one said it was going to be easy. Yes, it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be worth it. And, you know, it may be clumsy at first. There's different components, but it's all going to come together. Five of Wands, those figures on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot in the Five of Wands card, basically, they all have their wand. They all have their say, their input. They are like different components of something that creates a whole, and those wands will come together to create the star. So it's like everything will come together as you wish. It may be challenging, but you're stepping up. You're prepared for it. You're trained for this. You know that you are capable of making this happen, whatever this is, okay? So I'm just going to pull like one more card there, because I do feel at the end of April there for you, there could be a little bit of tension, but I feel like you're making this tension help you restructure, because we can see tension as like a shaper of worlds. We can see it as letting it overwhelm us. Or we can see it as something needs to change. Whenever our body or our mind kind of says, I'm under a lot of pressure, this is too much, I'm feeling overwhelmed, it's a signal from your body, from your psyche, from your higher self, which is basically the Hierophant energy, you know, the knowledge of your higher self, to say something needs to change. Are you feeling fulfilled right now? If the answer is no, then it's time for revamp or restructure. And also, I would say with the Queen of Cups being present there, that really connects to that Man in the Mirror song by Michael Jackson. It feels very much like the change is starting within self. And for some of you, this may be something that is aesthetic in nature, changing a style, changing, a look or a way that you feel about yourself will filter out into the rest of your life. It starts with one step, and I feel like you're making it happen. Okay. Now, although these are like big cards, the Chariot card, like I just heard get moving as soon as that card like popped down. So some of you, this is like your thumbs up from the universe to get moving on an idea or something that you have knowledge on. The Knight of Cups, yeah, follow your bliss, follow your heart. You're going to love these changes. The Chariot card is change. It's ambition. It's your commitment to progress. Your dedication is taking you to the top. But also, as I said, a Knight of Cups, this is something being offered to you, something that you're going to run with. For some of you, this is a deal, or you're going to be signing contracts, or it is like your dream job, or your dream home, or your dream neighborhood. For some of you, if you're looking to purchase a car, for example, this could be a month where you upgrade your car, or you upgrade something and you're going to love it. The Chariot card indicates success and triumph, or an overcoming of an obstacle. And, the Chariot is like also keeping a tight rein on your finances, but don't forget to treat yourself because, being strict with finances is wonderful because it means that you can actually, have your financial goals and save for something that you want to purchase that's a large purchase. But, sometimes we need to give a little reward to ourselves just to kind of highlight that you're doing a really great job, which you are. So I feel this is a month where something wonderful is coming in. It's destined. It helps you realize more of your destiny path. Something is fated to come on in. It's double luck for you, which is unusual. So I would say there's a rare opportunity to kind of fast track or a portal of change that speeds you forward, but you're tapping into this sense of success. This will be the month for some of you to get a promotion or a raise or a small increase in your finances, or even a small win on something that is competitive, because this is competition. Like if you're entering into a competition, there could be double luck on your side to win something. If you're entering into a competitive arena, it can be that you're going to win this, whatever this is. So if you compete in something, you win. But this could also be that you're competing with yourself, that you are self-improving this month and you're going to win. You're going to beat your previous records, for example, or you're restructuring to help you go from strength to strength. So I would say this is a pretty empowered month for you, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful... Oof, okay. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? Now, the image that I mentioned earlier about the marine life, that comes straight to my mind. That's why I went, oof, because that's an image that keeps coming. And I hate seeing images of beautiful animals beaching. But anyway, it's something that is coming to the forefront of my mind. But anyway, this is not something that is negative for you, but it is like a sign for you. I would say that, if something is off or feels like it's giving you a signal that change is afoot, don't ignore the sign, is what I would say instantly, because I got that image. But it says here, richness, marine life. So this is about you leading a fulfilling life that is rich in the people around you, in the relationships that you have. I mean, your 7th house is governing you. As I mentioned, that's all about your partnerships, but also your 12th house is governing you, which means this is a very sensitive, deep dive month for you to philosophically understand who you are, your needs, and are they being met? I mean, this will make you feel a bit more sensitive than usual. This is time to connect to your higher self on a spiritual path, or develop a deeper understanding and awareness of what's important to you and what are the big deals in your life, the must-haves in your life that you feel like you do not have right now. Also, you're going to be focused on important projects, and you're going to be super busy, trying to recharge your batteries, but also kind of take an approach to something that is more efficient or streamlined. I mean, a lot of you may even decide to take a spiritual retreat during this month because of your 12th house, or have some sort of quick getaway, even some time in nature. But, time by water, or time, because there's so much water in your chart, if you can get some moments to be by the sea or the ocean, this is really going to help you get clear or cleanse or inspire you with new knowledge. But also this card is about richness, okay? Variety is a spice of life. If you're doing one thing all the time, it can get dull and boring. So it's important to like widen your net or expand your horizon in some way. I mean, this is number 32. Okay, and when you reduce it, 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 is always the number of structure and challenge. And this could be that you are challenging a structure in your life right now that you feel is not working for you, and you want to diversify in some way to expand, because this is a card of expansion. And, you know, it means that there is richness, there is lessons that will be very rich and help you move forward in the direction of your dreams. It also indicates that fertility is yours, okay? So your wishes will be granted. That's literally what this card means. And there is more than one way to find a solution to a problem, to adapt to the new or transform. So I see a lot of you like adapting and transforming at this time. And I want you to be aware, because my guides are showing me that, you know, there's sharks in the ocean as well. You know, now sharks, they're just doing what they normally do. They're just sharking about, right? They're just built to like hunt their food and like live in an aquatic environment and just do their thing, right? So we must not hate on sharks, of course, but the nature of a shark has been like attributed sometimes to negative people, shall we say, who perhaps drain energy or hurt us, you know, out of spite or out of fun. And I feel for some of you, it's like there is a sentence, killing someone with kindness. Okay, that's a very famous saying. And I feel this is you kind of like, as I said, giving more to a situation that you feel is unfair, but it almost shows you in a new light. So even if you're in a very challenging working environment and someone has done something to you, for example, that is negative, I feel this is something that could be witnessed by your boss, but the way that you deal with it, where you don't allow it to trigger you or show you in a bad light, it's like your professional approach to this, by killing them with kindness, as it were, kind of highlights that you're the better person, or that you're more equipped to deal with pressure under challenging circumstances. So that's what I mean by that. So it could be that if you have someone who's micromanaging you or trying to set you up to fail, it's like, it's not going to happen because you see through it. And the way you approach it, you're giving more like love to the situation or more kind of like kindness to the situation. And it kind of shows them up for who they are as well. So that's coming out there too. I mean, also in this, it's like water, it's ocean. So that's all about detoxifying. Sharks and pufferfish are there as well. So pufferfish can represent like, you know, toxins. So a lot of you, body, mind, and soul could be detoxing or like looking at toxins in the body this month in order to remove brain fog, purify. I mean, I feel this is a big soul searching month about you, where you're deep in your feelings and really looking at the times where people kind of like try to drag you down or try to get in your way, dull your shine, but you're like out there saying, nope, still shining my light there. Nope, still loving life, still trying to, you know, do my own thing. And I feel like you're not allowing those things to get you down. And that's why you're being sent some really great karma to bring extra luck into your life, okay? Now, finally, we've got the darkness, the moon. So this is you looking at things that drain you or things that have had a negative experience that have made you very protective over your energy. I feel like you're purifying these things so that you can actually get out there and live life and not allow these negative experiences to hold you back, okay? But also, this is number 7. Number 7 is the Chariot card. It is like progress. It is commitment. It is victory. It is like energy that propels you forward with success and confidence. But I feel you may have had a very challenging experience in life that it's like it fueled your passion. You are turning pain to gain, whatever that is. And I feel with this card, this is about you knowing that there are cycles to everything. There's a cycle for you to sit back and allow abundance into your life after all the hard work. And there's a time for you to chase success and, you know, go after it. But I feel this is about you not being afraid of your like shadow self. Your 12th house is really going to trigger that. And it's about doing some repair work, both inside and outside, of course, and like not shutting yourself off to the experiences, because there is a rich lesson there about your true power. So I would say this is a big philosophical month for you more than anything, my beautiful Scorpio. Doesn't mean that things are not going to happen for you. I mean, I see a small win, as I said there, for you. I feel like you win something that like sets you up for something more. I see you gaining new knowledge, expanding your mind. I see you restructuring. I mean, if anything is getting in the way of your plans, like distracting you, I feel like you're like, it's okay. I'm just finding an alternative way. I'm not going to allow it to trigger me. That's the energy that I'm getting for you. And actually, that is setting you up for so much success. Okay. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or ring before we close. Okay, so now we have the God rune, which is all about wisdom, and we got a coin. Oh no, it's a clock. Interesting. I saw it as a coin, so I'm going to be like, perhaps this is about you being more time efficient to make more money, for example, because I saw a coin first. I got to honor what I saw first, because sometimes I'll look at things that are like exactly like that, but then I'll see it moving, or I'll see images placed on top of it, or I'll be given a message as I'm scrying in the water of what the message is. So I would say a lot of you may be launching second streams of income, or there is knowledge that is going to equip you with the opportunity to increase your wealth in some way. I would say with a clock, I mentioned earlier about the dawn, so something about getting up earlier, or maybe your sleeping patterns are going to be affected, and I feel like new knowledge will help you like use your time effectively. I mean, this rune is all about apprenticeship. You are the student of life. You're being honest with yourself. I feel like you're going to be very inspired, and I feel like, you know, you are opening to new knowledge in different forms, and this is going to expose a path that you're destined to take. I feel like you're actually on that path, you're just tweaking it. Okay, and also that clock, I feel it's time for abundance and good luck to come your way. I really do, because I feel like you've been through some stuff, but also the nature of time is shifting for you, where you're going to be more time effective or efficient in your life, and there may be something that is time sensitive that you need to really keep your eye on, whether it's like a date, expiry date of like a visa, passport, or a contract, or even like a time sensitive document that's coming in that you need to sign. I would say just check hard copy mail and things like that. But I would say that you're learning more about your time here on this planet and your sense of purpose and how you can make a difference and how you can make a change in your life in different sectors. So very inspiring month for you. And I feel something within you is changing this month that filters out as a transformative change to tap into more luck and prosperity. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Scorpio. It really felt kind of like something is shifting, like a major, like foundational shift within you that is going to just affect everything else around you. And I feel like you're managing stress levels as well there. So it doesn't feel like nothing's happening, because I feel like you're really like organized, structured. You're ticking a lot of things off your to-do list. You're definitely in a very productive mode, and you're making things happen for you. You're not working against the energy, you're working with it. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Scorpio, and love and light.